Okay, so these are this is the last page of 4.2, so hopefully you tried this. 15 was probably a little tricky for you. 14, hopefully you were able to get. So on 14 to solve for x, we are going to do 1/2 x plus 1 equals 31. We're going to subtract 1 from both sides. Now, to get rid of this 1/2, I have to multiply by its reciprocal. So I have to multiply both sides by 2 over 1. So you're actually multiplying 30 by 2. So x does not equal 15 because you're not dividing by 2 or multiplying by 1/2. You're multiplying by 2. So x equals 60. And then to solve for y, we do 2y minus 3 equals 129. We add 3 to both sides and then divide by 2, and I get 66. 15 is a concept you guys learned about in Algebra 1, so you have to remember back to Algebra 1. And it's when I have two variables and I'm having to solve a system of linear equations is what it is. So what I have here is I know that 4x plus 2y is equal to 56, this angle right here. So I write that equation down. Okay. I also know that this angle up here has to be what? Oh no, I did all this wrong. It has to be 180 minus 56 minus 90. So I'm going to do 180 minus 56 minus 90. So this equals 34. So my two equations, I'm going to redo this problem down here. So I have the equation of 4x plus 2y equals 56. And then the second equation I have 5x plus y equals 34. Okay? So in a system of linear equations, you use graphing, you use substitution, or you use elimination. Hopefully those words kind of jogged your memory. I am going to choose to use elimination. So what I want to do is I want my x's to eliminate when I add them or my y's to eliminate when I add them. And right now neither of those are doing that. So I'm going to take this bottom equation and multiply by -2. I'm not going to change the top equation at all, so I'm just going to carry it over. I'm going to bring over the same thing. Now I'm going to multiply this whole thing by -2. So I get negative 10x minus 2y equals negative 68. Put an equal sign. Now 2y minus 2y cancels. This gives me a negative 6x because 4 minus 10 is negative 6x. And then 56 minus 68, since I already made a mistake, equals negative 12. Okay? I'm going to divide both sides by -6, and I get x equals a positive 2. So that's my x value. To find my y value, I plug my x back in to either one of these equations. It just looks a little easier if I go into the bottom one. So I'm going to do 5 times 2 plus y equals 34. Well, 5 times 2 is 10, so 10 plus y equals 34. Subtract 10 from both sides, I get y equals 24. So those are my two answers. Going back up to the proof. So they tell me that angle A to B to D is congruent to C to D to B. So that's the 2 mark, 2 mark. A to D to B is congruent to C to B to D, 1 mark, 1 mark. And reminder that if they don't put these on there, markings, you need to put them on there, right? So A to D is congruent to B to C. There's 1 tick mark and 1 tick mark. A to B, there's 2 there. And then is congruent to D to C, there's 2 there. Okay? So they did all that, and that's given. We also know that B to D is congruent to itself by reflexive POC. Because it's congruent, not equal sign. And then I also know that angle A will be congruent to angle C by third angles theorem that we talked about. So if two angles of a triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, that means that their third angles are also congruent. At that point, we have said that all three angles are congruent to all three angles, and all three side lengths are congruent to all three side lengths. That means that the two triangles are congruent just by definition of congruent triangles. So we have 6 things congruent. So that tells me that the two triangles are congruent. Okay, so what you are going to do now, so that's the end of 4.2. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go over to your supplementary packet, Unit 4, right? And you're going to go to the second sheet in there, which is called Identifying Triangles. And you are going to name these triangles based only on its sides. The reason we cannot do angles is because they gave us no angle information. Once you're done doing that, you are going to enter your answers into a Schoology assignment, but you have to make sure that you spell the items correctly. So we have scaling S-C-A-L-E-N-E, isosceles, I-S-O-S-C-E-L-E-S, and equilateral, E-Q-U-I-L-A-T-E-R-A-L. Okay, so you're going to do that, and then there's also an additional 4.2 Schoology assignment for you to complete. All right, thanks, guys.